Imagine waking up tomorrow morning, walking to the bathroom and looking in the mirror. Your eyes are yellow, not bright yellow, just enough that something looks wrong. You splash water on your face, thinking maybe it is the lighting, but it is not the lighting. That faint yellow tint is your liver sending a distress signal, and by the time you can see it with your own eyes, the damage has been building for months, sometimes years. This is not rare. This is not dramatic. This is happening right now to millions of adults over the age of 60, and the overwhelming majority of them have no idea. According to the National Institutes of Health, chronic liver disease is now the 11th leading cause of death in the United States. And here is the most frightening part. For most of those people, the liver was failing quietly for years before anyone caught it. It was not alcohol. It was not bad luck. It was warning signs their own bodies were screaming at them that they either did not recognize or were told to ignore. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you 6 warning signs that your liver may be quietly failing. 6 signals your body is sending right now that most people over 60 brush off as normal aging. And the most dangerous one on this list, number 1, is a sign that almost everyone misunderstands completely. If you are over 60, this message could literally save your life. Stay with me. My name is Dr. Jonathan Mercer. I have spent over 2 decades in internal medicine and hepatology, that is the study of liver disease, working specifically with adults over 60. Every week on this channel, I share life-saving health information explained clearly for people in this age group. If you have not already, subscribe now. What we are about to cover is exactly why this channel exists. Here is something most people do not realize. Your liver is the most forgiving organ in your body. It can lose up to 70% of its function before you feel anything obviously wrong. That sounds like a gift. It is actually a curse, because by the time symptoms become impossible to ignore, you are no longer in the early stages. You are in crisis. The damage does not announce itself. It builds for months, for years. And by the time you feel something wrong enough to mention it to a doctor, in the overwhelming majority of cases, significant scarring has already occurred. The 5-year survival rate for liver disease caught in late stages drops below 50%. That number is why everything I am about to show you matters so much. And here is what terrifies me most as a doctor. At least 3 of the warning signs I am about to describe you have probably experienced in the last month and dismissed as something else entirely. Now let us talk about the 6th warning sign on this list. Your skin itches for no reason. Many people over 60 experience itching and think nothing of it. They assume it is dry skin. They assume it is aging. They buy a new lotion and move on. But here is what most people do not realize. When your liver begins to struggle, it loses its ability to process bile salts properly. Bile is a digestive fluid your liver produces to break down fats. When the liver cannot clear these bile salts efficiently, they accumulate in the bloodstream and deposit in the skin. This triggers persistent, maddening itching that no cream or lotion can relieve. Think of it like this. Your liver is a filtration plant. When the filters start clogging, the waste does not just disappear. It backs up into your system. Bile salts under your skin are like sewage leaking into clean water. You feel it before you can see the damage. A study published in the Journal of Hepatology followed over 3,400 adults with unexplained chronic itching. The results were disturbing. Nearly 18% of them were found to have previously undiagnosed liver disease. 18%. That is nearly 1 in 5 people scratching their skin who actually had a failing liver and did not know it. I remember a 67-year-old woman who came to me after 2 years of unexplained itching. She had been to 3 dermatologists. She had tried prescription creams, antihistamines, even oatmeal baths. Nothing worked. When I ran a full liver panel, her bile acid levels were dangerously elevated. Her liver had been slowly losing function for years. We caught it just in time. 6 months later, with the right treatment, her itching was gone and her liver function had stabilized. But she almost never got that chance because everyone kept treating her skin instead of her liver. The good news is this. If you are experiencing persistent itching that does not respond to moisturizers or allergy medication, a simple blood test can check your bile acid levels and liver enzymes. Ask your doctor for a comprehensive liver panel. It could reveal what years of dermatology visits missed. Now, as important as that sign was, the next one is even more commonly ignored because people assume it is just a normal part of getting older. Now let us move to the fifth warning sign. You are exhausted all the time and rest does not fix it. I hear this from patients over 60 constantly. They say, I sleep 8 hours and I still feel wiped out. They blame it on aging. They blame it on stress. They blame it on not exercising enough. But here is what is happening inside your body. Your liver performs over 500 metabolic functions every single day. It processes nutrients. It filters toxins. It regulates blood sugar. It produces proteins your muscles need for energy. When your liver starts to fail, it cannot perform these jobs efficiently. Toxins that should be filtered out stay in your bloodstream. Nutrients that should be converted into energy are not processed properly, and a specific waste product called ammonia, which a healthy liver clears easily, begins to build up. Elevated ammonia affects the brain directly. It causes a condition called hepatic encephalopathy, which is a medical term that simply means brain fog caused by a sick liver. Research published in the Journal of the American Medical Association followed over 7,000 adults aged 60 and older. Those with early-stage liver dysfunction were 4 times more likely to report chronic, unexplained fatigue than those with healthy liver function. 4 times. Think of your liver like the engine of a car. When the engine is running clean, everything works. But when the engine is clogged and misfiring, even stepping on the gas does not give you power. That is what a struggling liver does to your energy. I once treated a 72-year-old man who had been exhausted for over a year. His primary care doctor had run basic blood work and told him everything looked fine. But when we did a comprehensive liver function panel, his albumin levels, that is a protein your liver makes, were critically low. His liver had been silently declining for years. We started treatment immediately, and within 3 months, he told me he felt 10 years younger. That fatigue was not aging. It was his liver calling for help. If you are over 65 and you have been tired for weeks or months with no clear explanation, how long have you been accepting that exhaustion as just a part of life? Write the honest answer in the comments, because that number tells you exactly how long your liver may have been struggling without anyone checking. The good news is this: liver-related fatigue responds remarkably well to early intervention. A simple liver panel blood test can reveal whether your exhaustion has a hidden cause. Do not accept "it is just your age" as an answer. Now, as serious as that sign was, the next one is going to surprise you because it shows up in a place you would never expect. The fourth warning sign: your urine turns darker than normal. Many people notice their urine getting darker and assume they are just not drinking enough water. They drink an extra glass and forget about it. But here is what most people do not realize. When your liver begins to fail, it loses its ability to process a substance called bilirubin. Bilirubin is a yellow pigment produced when old red blood cells break down. A healthy liver captures bilirubin, converts it, and sends it out through your digestive system. When the liver cannot keep up, bilirubin spills into the bloodstream. Your kidneys try to compensate by filtering some of it out through urine. The result is urine that looks dark, amber, brown, or even tea-colored, no matter how much water you drink. Think of bilirubin like an overflow from a clogged drain. Your liver is the drain. When it backs up, the excess spills into every available exit: your urine, your skin, your eyes. A study published in the Lancet Gastroenterology and Hepatology analyzed over 12,000 adults with persistent dark urine who had no urinary tract infections. The results were clear. Over 22% of them had elevated bilirubin levels linked to undiagnosed liver dysfunction, nearly 1 in 4. I once treated a 64-year-old woman who mentioned dark urine during a routine visit almost as an afterthought. She said she just assumed she needed more water. Her liver enzymes came back severely elevated. An ultrasound revealed early-stage fibrosis, that is scarring of the liver tissue. Because we caught it when we did, we were able to slow the progression dramatically. If she had waited another year, the damage would have been far more difficult to reverse. The good news is this: monitoring your urine color is one of the simplest health checks you can do every single day. If your urine remains consistently dark despite adequate hydration, ask your doctor to check your bilirubin levels. It takes one blood draw and could catch liver disease years before it becomes dangerous. But here is the part that surprises almost everyone. The next sign on this list does not feel like a liver problem at all. It feels like something completely different. The third warning sign: you bruise easily or bleed longer than you used to. If you have noticed that a small bump leaves a large bruise, or that a minor cut takes much longer to stop bleeding, most people blame blood thinners or age. But here is what is happening inside your body. Your liver is responsible for producing clotting factors, the proteins in your blood that stop bleeding and heal wounds. When your liver starts to fail, it cannot manufacture enough of these proteins. Without adequate clotting factors, even minor injuries lead to exaggerated bruising and prolonged bleeding. This is not cosmetic. This is a functional breakdown in one of your liver's most critical jobs. Think of clotting factors like the repair crew for a highway. When the crew is fully staffed, potholes get fixed quickly. When the crew is short-handed because the factory producing their tools is failing, damage accumulates faster than it can be repaired. A major study published in the journal Hepatology examined over 5 out of 200 adults aged 60 and older who reported increased bruising. The results were remarkable. Those with unexplained easy bruising were 3 times more likely to have underlying liver fibrosis than those who bruise normally, 3 times the risk from a symptom most people never mention to their doctor. I remember a 71-year-old man whose wife dragged him into my office because his arms were covered in bruises. He laughed and said he was just clumsy. His blood work told a different story. His prothrombin time, that is a measure of how quickly your blood clots, was dangerously prolonged. His liver was failing to produce adequate clotting proteins. We caught it at a stage where treatment could still make a meaningful difference. 6 months later, his bruising had reduced significantly, and his liver function had improved. If you are over 60 and you have noticed more bruises than usual or cuts that seem to take forever to stop bleeding, when was the last time you mentioned it to your doctor? Tell me in the comments, because this is one of the most overlooked early warnings of liver failure. The good news is this: a simple blood test measuring your prothrombin time and INR can reveal whether your clotting ability has been compromised by liver dysfunction. If your doctor has not checked these recently, ask for them at your next visit. Now, as serious as that was, the next sign is even more alarming because it affects the way you think and nobody connects it to the liver. The second warning sign: you experience confusion, forgetfulness, or brain fog that comes and goes. This is one of the most misunderstood symptoms in adults over 60. When someone starts forgetting words, losing track of conversations, or feeling mentally foggy, the first fear is always the same: dementia, Alzheimer's. But here is what most people and even many doctors do not realize. The liver and the brain are intimately connected. When your liver cannot properly filter ammonia, a toxic byproduct of protein metabolism, that ammonia crosses into the brain. Even slightly elevated ammonia levels can cause confusion, slowed thinking, mood changes, and impaired concentration. This condition, hepatic encephalopathy, is frequently misdiagnosed as early dementia, and here is what makes it so dangerous. Unlike true dementia, hepatic encephalopathy caused by liver dysfunction is often reversible when caught early. But if it is misdiagnosed, the underlying liver disease continues to worsen untreated. Research published in the journal Gastroenterology followed over 4,600 adults over the age of 60 who had been referred for cognitive decline evaluation. The findings were stunning. Nearly 12% of them actually had hepatic encephalopathy caused by undiagnosed liver disease, not dementia. 12% of people told they might have Alzheimer's actually had a treatable liver condition. Think of ammonia in your brain like static on a radio signal. The radio is not broken, the signal is still there, but the interference makes everything unclear. Clean up the interference by treating the liver and the signal comes through clearly again. I once treated a 69-year-old woman whose family was devastated because they believed she was developing Alzheimer's. She was forgetting appointments, repeating questions, getting confused about directions to places she had driven to for decades. Her neurologist had started her on dementia medications. When I checked her ammonia levels, they were significantly elevated. Her liver enzymes were abnormal. We adjusted her treatment to target the liver. Within 2 months, her mental clarity improved dramatically. Her daughter called me crying, saying she got her mother back. That story still stays with me because it almost went the other way. The good news is this: if you or someone you love is experiencing cognitive changes after 60, insist on a comprehensive liver panel and ammonia level test before accepting a dementia diagnosis. This one test could change everything. And now, the number one warning sign on this list. This is the one I planted at the very beginning, the one most people misunderstand completely. And it is the most dangerous because by the time you finally see it, it means your liver has been struggling for a very long time. The number one warning sign: your eyes or skin develop a yellowish tint. This is called jaundice, and most people think jaundice is obvious. They picture someone turning bright yellow like a cartoon character. That is not how it starts. In the early stages, jaundice is subtle. It appears as a faint yellowish tinge in the whites of your eyes. It shows as a slight warmth in your skin tone that you might attribute to lighting or sun exposure. Many people over 60 look in the mirror and do not even notice it. Their spouse might notice it before they do. And here is why this is number one. Jaundice means your liver has lost enough function that it can no longer process bilirubin adequately. By the time visible jaundice appears, your liver has typically been declining for months or even years. Every other sign on this list, the itching, the fatigue, the dark urine, the bruising, the confusion, those are early whispers. Jaundice is your liver raising its voice because the whispers were ignored. When bilirubin accumulates in your blood unchecked, it deposits in your skin, your eyes, and your mucous membranes. It means the filtration system is overwhelmed. And here is what is happening inside your body at that stage. Scar tissue may be replacing healthy liver cells. Blood flow through the liver is being obstructed. The organ that performs over 500 critical functions is losing its ability to do its job. A landmark study published in the journal Hepatology followed over 9,800 adults aged 55 and older who presented with mild jaundice. The results were devastating. Over 68% of them were found to have significant liver fibrosis or early cirrhosis. 2/3 of people with even mild yellowing already had serious structural liver damage. Think of your liver like the foundation of a house. By the time you see cracks in the walls, the foundation has been shifting for years. Jaundice is the crack in the wall. The foundation, your liver, has been under siege long before that yellow appeared. I treated a 73-year-old man whose wife noticed a slight yellow tint in his eyes one morning. He dismissed it completely. She insisted he see me. His bilirubin was 3 times the normal level. An ultrasound revealed advanced fibrosis approaching cirrhosis. We began aggressive treatment immediately. Over the next year, with strict dietary changes, medication, and monitoring, we managed to stabilize his condition and prevent progression to full cirrhosis. His wife saved his life by noticing what he refused to see. If you are over 60, look in the mirror right now, or ask someone who loves you to look at the whites of your eyes in natural daylight. Even a faint yellow tint deserves immediate medical attention. The good news is this: even advanced liver fibrosis can sometimes be slowed or stabilized with early and aggressive intervention. But the window for action is narrow. Do not wait. Every day matters. Now, before we wrap up, there are 5 rules I need you to hear, because without these, you could recognize every warning sign on this list and still not get the protection you deserve. Rule 1. Never assume one normal blood test means your liver is fine. Standard blood panels often check only ALT and AST, 2 basic liver enzymes. But early liver disease can exist with normal ALT and AST levels. Always ask for a comprehensive liver panel that includes bilirubin, albumin, alkaline phosphatase, and GGT. Rule 2. Stop ignoring symptoms that come and go. Liver disease symptoms often fluctuate. You might feel exhausted for a week, then feel fine. Your urine might darken for a few days, then clear up. This inconsistency tricks people into thinking nothing is wrong. Intermittent symptoms are still symptoms. Rule 3. Alcohol is not the only cause of liver disease. Non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, called NAFLD, is now the most common liver condition in adults over 60. It is driven by diet, metabolic syndrome, and insulin resistance. You do not need to drink a drop of alcohol to have a seriously damaged liver. Rule 4. Medication buildup is a silent liver killer. After 60, your liver processes medications more slowly. Taking multiple prescriptions without regular liver monitoring is like running an engine without ever changing the oil. Ask your doctor whether your current medications require liver function checks. Rule 5. Do not wait for your annual physical. If you experience any combination of the signs we discussed today, request liver testing immediately. Waiting 6 months for a scheduled appointment could mean the difference between reversible damage and permanent scarring. These are not optional adjustments. Every one of these rules quietly determines whether the warning signs you now know about actually protect you or whether they arrive too late. Let us quickly summarize the 6 warning signs that your liver may be quietly failing. 6. Unexplained chronic itching. 5. Persistent fatigue that rest does not fix. 4. Dark urine despite adequate hydration. 3. Easy bruising or prolonged bleeding. 2. Confusion or brain fog that mimics dementia. And 1. Yellowing of the eyes or skin. Each one alone is dangerous. Together, they create a perfect storm. The truth is painful but empowering. Many cases of advanced liver disease are not fate. They are preventable. You do not need expensive treatments. You do not need extreme routines. You need awareness and consistency. If you are over 60, today matters. Not next week, not next month, today. Your liver has been working for you in complete silence every single day of your life, filtering every toxin, processing every meal, manufacturing the proteins that keep your blood flowing and your brain clear. It has never once complained. It has never once asked for anything in return. It has been your most loyal, most selfless organ for 6, 7, 8 decades. And right now, it may be whispering for help in a language you were never taught to understand. Start listening. Start giving something back, because your liver has earned it. Before you leave, I ask you to do 4 important things. First, subscribe to this channel. Every week, I share life-saving health information explained clearly for adults over 60. Second, like this video. It helps this message reach others who may not know they are at risk. Third, leave a comment. Write, "I am getting my liver checked this week." Your commitment may inspire someone else to act. And finally, share this video with someone you care about. A partner, a parent, a sibling, a friend. You may never know whose life you protect. This is Dr. Jonathan Mercer. Take care of your liver. It has taken care of you longer than you will ever know. I will see you in the next video.